Hey, thanks for joining me today. This video is about how to market yourself as a public speaker. Now, these are going to be the 10 tips that I absolutely live by to market myself and how I get gigs as well. So I hope this will help you. Let's dive right in. I'm also on this video going to give you my top recommendations as to how you can film and do photos for your events, and that's really important. I'm also going to reveal a little bit about as to why I'm doing this very YouTube channel. Also want you to check out another video that I made on this channel that will help you most certainly. It's titled How to Get Your First Speaking Gig. So if you're new to this, yes, it's going to be a good way to check out that as well along with this marketing video. So here we go. Number one, get clear on your offering and your message. Yeah, know what you're going to pitch. I want you to check out a couple of websites of some of the best people I've seen do this. They encapsulate it perfectly. One is a guy named Phil Jones. Yeah, he's handsome, he's British. I mean, he's got it all going on. He looks almost like something out of a movie. And this guy is such a great speaker. He wrote a book called Exactly What to Say. Now, when you go to Phil Jones' website, and it's actually philmjones.com, you'll see that he has a wonderful book, wonderful branding, and his marketing and messaging is so clear. He tells you exactly what to say as a sales leader, as somebody who's speaking in front of others. You're going to love it. One of my favorite sayings of his is, change your words, change your world. Yeah, Phil Jones, the master of marketing. Go check him out. The other guy I want you to check out is Dan Thurman. Dan Thurman actually is a juggler, unicyclist. I mean, he actually rides his unicycle like a mountain bike through the forest. The guy is crazy, but he's just so spectacular. His messaging is all about balance. So he actually wrote a book called Off Balance on Purpose. So go to danthurman.com to check out his message. The reason I'm sending you to these different websites is so that you can see masters of marketing and how they've encapsulated their message so well. It's almost like a perfect pitch. The other person who's extremely clear on her offering is Connie Podesta. She's one of my great mentors. She's a Hall of Fame speaker. If you go to conniepodesta.com, she's a standout experience keynote speaker. In other words, she can speak on sales, leadership, communication, HR, marketing. She can do everything, but really she's this comedian that brings people to stage and really makes the audience laugh their guts out. She's somebody that is a true standout experience, and you'll love her as well. So I hope you'll check out those great speakers that I've just referred you to. Number two is to make it easy for others to sell you. Yeah, I want you to think about your social media presence for a minute. How much do you talk about what you do on stage? It's really important. And at the same time, there's a reason why I'm doing this very video. This is a way for me to ramp up and beef up my own social media. So this is really me doing marketing. If I were to tear away the fourth wall and tell you the truth, I mean, I just want you to learn it along with me. Making videos like this for me is marketing as well, because we're going to repurpose these videos in shorter ways on social media, but it also establishes credibility. And so marketing through that way is very important. What does your online presence look like? Make sure that your social media, you take it serious. The thing that I find interesting about this channel and this video, and I hope that you'll subscribe to this channel because I talk so much about how it will help you in your speaking and marketing and so forth as well, is that I'm actually paying money, a lot of money, to make these videos. In other words, these are free for you to watch, and yet I'm paying for it to happen. So how are you investing in your own marketing? It's important to put money where you believe something is going to happen for you. I believe that if I get the right people to see me, I'm not worried about numbers. I'm not worried about millions of people, although that would be cool to see these videos. I want the right person to see them. And so that's how we need to come at our marketing. You need to have a great video of yourself speaking. That's extremely important, and that has to be on your website and all over your social media. If you go to jasonhewlett.com, right at the very front of the website, you'll see video that you can click and watch my promo video, and that'll give you an idea as to how to create a really nice marketing material video. Number three is that your website really does matter. People might argue that all you need is social media in this day and age, but I don't believe that. A website is essentially a place where people can find you and they say, oh wow, this person I believe is awesome. And sometimes SEO helps, and you can actually be found that way. I'm never found on SEO. We haven't mastered that part yet, but what we have done is made the website like an awesome business card. And so people come to the website, they go, wow, this guy's legit. Then they hire me. And you want to keep your website fairly up to date. great. It's important to change things up every once in a while. In fact, I like to keep mine to about every year we do a big refresh. And you want to be able to have it so that it's easily shareable with others. So whether you put together a one-sheet page or a landing page, things that people can forward along to a meeting planner, that makes you way more marketable. Your marketing materials, this is number 4, they need to be polished and be ready to be sent out. Here's what you need to think about. Is your headshot up to date? I mean, if you're like me in your 30s and 40s, by that time you're starting to change pretty much every year. So yeah, you need a new headshot every year. Even if you think, well, I still kind of look like I did in my 20s with the glamour shots. Don't do it. Get a new photo taken as soon as you can and put it on your website. The best headshot photographer I have met and I have worked with in the last few years is called Pepper Fox Photo. So go to pepperfoxphoto.com, schedule your next headshot. You may have to come to Utah, but it's worth it, trust me. If you want to check out my latest headshots, I think you'll get a kick out of how great they look, even compared to how much I hate doing them. So go to jasonhewlett.com/meeting planner or meeting professionals, and you can see where my headshots are updated. They look pretty awesome. Number 5 is you need to capture video footage at every single event you speak at. So whenever you do get a gig, you need to make sure to capture that footage. Most of the time, the client, if it's a big enough event, they're going to be filming it. I've even seen events that are quite small where they're filming. You need to get that footage from the client. Make sure to ask for it. Have that as a part of your process either at the beginning when you contract and say, hey, we need video footage that you're capturing, or afterwards, after you see they filmed it, say, hey, I need to make sure to get a copy of that. If you could please send it to me. Usually the client is very happy to send you the video footage, and that's very helpful for your marketing materials and putting together your next video. Before I share the final 5 that I'm going to give you today on marketing, I would love if you'd put in the comments some of the best marketing materials you've seen for other speakers. I'd love for you to share maybe some other speakers that I haven't referenced so far that you think are doing a really good job with their marketing. Hey, and you know what? If you have a website, I'd love to see it as well. Put it in there too. I will respond to every comment that comes through on this video. So let's keep on going with the rest of these tips. Number 6, I recommend that you hire a photographer and or a videographer for every single event. This may sound like a humongous, challenging investment. It can be. But if you find the right person, you can negotiate and work together on a lot of events. That's a cool thing. You want to make sure to get video before you get photos. But when you get the photos, you can actually grab some of the photos off of that video. I recommend if you could get both, that's even better. Finding the right videographer is extremely difficult, but it's essential to making it so that your best on stage is captured. Now, I remember years ago, I hired a group of people that came in, 1 videographer, 2 photographers, $3,000 to film me in front of 20,000 people in an arena in Las Vegas. That was a hefty bill, $3,000 for 3 people to be there for an hour. However, the video and the footage that I got, that's something that I've used for a lot of my promo materials, and I'm thankful that I made that investment in front of that big audience. I'd recommend you determine which events would be the most important to capture, and in reality, if you could capture all of them, that's the best idea you could have. Here are a few of the best videographers that I can recommend for your event. CardinalRedProductions.com. The owner of this company is called Tyler McCullough, one of my dear friends. He actually is somebody I've used quite a bit for his talents. He's very good at capturing live events. You want to have somebody who has experience in live events, and even if they're good at weddings and graduations and birthday parties, it is a different level to have somebody who can shoot a corporate event or an event where you're speaking on a stage, where the lighting is different, where you have very little control over it. You want to have a videographer who has experience in doing that. And then there's photographers. Not all photographers are the same. It's just like with speakers. There are some that are really good at doing photo sessions and headshots. There are others that are really good at capturing things live in person. The guy I recommend for that, he's out of New York. His name is John D'Amato. If you go to johndamato.com, you'll check out his great work. He shoots for most of the great corporate speakers and the NSA speakers on the circuit. Number 7, you need to have a really nice one sheet. Now, one sheets may seem like they've gone by the way of time itself, but trust me, people are still interested in a one sheet. Maybe it's not a print that they need, but it's something that can be emailed, a PDF. And so you need it to look nice. Maybe it's a nice couple of photos. Make it glossy, make it snazzy. Have photos of you in action on stage, have photos of you in person with your family, let's say, have photos of you doing a hobby. Those are all good things to have on that one sheet. Then maybe you have the title of your speech, a couple of testimonials from people, and your website and your contact information. The best one I've ever seen marketing was a guy named Mark Eaton. He was a 7'4" basketball player, and his website was the number 7, FT as in foot, and the number 4.com, 7foot4.com. If you check it out, it's still on the web. Mark Eaton passed away tragically a couple of years ago, but he certainly left a great legacy that we can still follow, and we can still see his great marketing promo materials. You'll enjoy his one sheet. It's quite extraordinary. 7 foot tall, 4 feet inches. He was extraordinary in life, and he continues to influence so many people today. Number 8, I'd recommend that you network with other speakers. So that means you need to join the NSA, the National Speakers Association. You need to go to Toastmasters meetings. It's important to align yourself with other speakers, to get to know them, to see what they're doing, to see how you can offer to help with their own events. You know, when you learn about the marketing materials of somebody that's in your area or a speaker you look up to, then you can start to mimic the masters, and that's an important principle for any of us to follow. So aligning yourself with others and watching what they do, very important for your marketing efforts. And in terms of marketing yourself as a speaker, I would say networking with professionals, that's a really big deal. Now, I'm not talking just other speakers this time. I'm talking about actual business owners, entrepreneurs, people who are the decision makers. There was a company years ago called Corporate Alliance. It's now split off into 2 different companies, one called Truss and one called Tribe House. Now, these are companies that bring together corporations and corporate owners, and all of these executives come together to network with each other. That's the place you want to play if you are a speaker looking for opportunities. As a marketer, that is a great place. I remember getting the gig with Corporate Alliance. I remember getting in front of those people and not realizing the who's who in the room and how amazing it was that when they all saw me, it led to a lot of bookings. Now, that was a really neat thing. It's very rare to get a showcase opportunity like that. But if you were to join a company or a group, an association, an organization like Truss or like Tribe House, it's pretty expensive. But think about it. Let's say it's a couple $1,000s a month. If you landed one gig and you charge $5,000, or 10,000, and it leads to more and more gigs, then exponentially you're going to be making a lot on that investment of membership in that organization. So do whatever it takes to network with the right professionals. If you're not interested in joining something like that because the money's so expensive for you at this point, then maybe join the Chamber of Commerce. Maybe go to Rotary. Do something in the community where you can network with other professionals and you'll have more opportunities. That's a great way to market yourself. And number 10, image matters. I mean, trust me, people are looking at you. You want to look the part, sound the part, yes, and your website needs to scream that you are the part. Wear the right clothes. Maybe put on a hat. Do something a little bit unique. I know when I started out in my career, I used to wear a fedora that I bought at TJ Maxx. For some reason, everyone thought it looked awesome. So I wore it for about 5 years. I became known as the guy who showed up at networking events with a fedora. That led to conversations. I found that interesting. Consider polishing up your image. Maybe look at photos and how they've turned out. And then you can start to see how marketing yourself is really something that just becomes a part of your personal brand. It becomes your signature move, and you've got this. I know you can do it. I hope that you'll put in the comments what was helpful today, and maybe if I missed anything, let me know as well. I'll respond to any comments that are on there, and I appreciate you joining me today. And by the way, I think it would be appropriate, since I'm marketing on this video, to ask for you to subscribe if you would. That's a great way for us to stay connected, and I appreciate you helping me with my marketing efforts too.